Picture this. The sun has slipped below the horizon, and the world you know, the one with streetlights, glowing screens, and 24-hour convenience, vanishes. Instead, you're huddled in a small, smoky shelter, the only light a flickering fire that casts long shadows on the walls. Your stomach growls, your hands are rough from the day's work, and outside, the darkness is so thick you can barely see your own hand. So, what did ancient humans actually do when the night rolled in? They didn't just sleep. They lived, loved, told stories, and survived in ways that feel both foreign and oddly familiar. As the last embers of daylight died, the camp came alive with a different kind of energy. Gatherers returned with armfuls of roots, berries, and firewood, while hunters carried in the day's kill, perhaps a deer or a wild boar, its meat still warm, its blood still slick on their hands. Everyone had a job. Women and children peeled tubers with sharp flint blades and scraped deer hides clean of fat and sinew. Men sharpened spears against grinding stones and repaired broken spear throwers. And elders sat by the flames, their eyes half closed but watching everything with the weight of decades behind them. The fire wasn't just for warmth. It was the heart of the night, a barrier against predators whose eyes glinted beyond the glow, a forge for shaping flint into arrowheads and knives, and a stage for the evening's rituals. Cooking filled the air with the rich smell of roasting meat and charred herbs, a scent that meant safety and sustenance. Children chased each other in the flickering light, their laughter cutting through the crackling wood as they dodged sparks. There was no rush, no schedule, just the rhythm of the night, slow and deliberate, punctuated by the occasional snap of a heavy branch or the hoot of an owl. When the last bones were gnawed clean and the hide scraped smooth, the real entertainment began. Adults gathered in tight circles, their faces illuminated by the fire's orange dance, and told stories, not the dry factual tales you might expect, but wild, imaginative ones that made your skin prickle. They spoke of spirits in the trees that whispered secrets to the wind, of great beasts like the mammoth that thundered across the frozen plains during the ice, of clever ancestors who tricked the moon into hiding just to give them more darkness for hunting. An elder might weave a yarn about a hunter who wrestled a cave lion and won, his voice shifting to a whisper during the tense parts, then booming with triumph as he mimicked the beast's final roar. Others sang, low, rhythmic chants that echoed off the cave walls, accompanied by the tap of dried gourds or the scrape of bones across a hollow log. They painted on cave walls by torchlight, dipping fingers into crushed ochre and charcoal, not just for art, but to capture visions from dreams, or to honor the hunt that fed them. Young couples snuck away into the shadows, their whispers and giggles muffled by the night, while girls braided each other's hair and boys competed in games of strength. The darkness wasn't empty. It was a canvas for imagination, a time for bonding, for courtship, for passing down the wisdom that kept the group alive through the seasons. But the night wasn't all peace. The threat of danger turned every sound into a story. A twig snapping meant a predator, maybe a saber-toothed cat with dagger-long fangs or a pack of hungry wolves lurking at the edge of the firelight, waiting for a stray child or a hobbled elder. Someone might stay awake as a sentinel, their hand gripping a sharpened stick, their eyes scanning the black void for any movement, their heart thumping against their ribs. When the fire burned low, the group huddled closer together, sharing body heat under thick fur blankets, their breaths making small clouds in the cold air. Babies cried, their wails piercing the quiet, and elders coughed, their lungs rattling with age. Dreams filled the shelter with restless murmurs, a hunter thrashing through a vision of a charging bison, a mother startling awake from a nightmare about her child wandering off. And then, just before dawn, the cycle would start again, not with alarms or planners, but with the first gray hint of light through the smoke hole. Someone would stir, stretch like a waking bear, add a branch to the embers, and the village would slowly wake to another day of gathering, hunting, and surviving, their mouths already watering at the memory of last night's meat. So next time you flick off your lamp and climb into a soft bed, think of that ancient fire. Think of the stories, the songs, the fears, and the laughter that filled those long, black hours. The night was never silent for them. It was alive, messy, and deeply human. And maybe, in a world without screens, that's something we've forgotten how to do. Drop your theory below. How would you spend a prehistoric night? Subscribe for more journeys into the past.